Being proactive versus reactive in real estate and in everything in life is the best way to go. That's actually something I've been living with for at least 15 years. I just realized that I have so many more options when I'm proactive as opposed to reactive. See, now the difference between proactive and reactive. When you're reactive, you maybe have one option that's not very good because you're reacting to something. You might have a second option that's horrible and a first option that's just kind of okay, if not that great. When you are proactive, you actually have many options. That's what I love to have, is many options to choose from, whichever one's the best for me, whichever one's the best one for my family, for everybody else involved. So being proactive as opposed to being reactive is the best way to go. Now, I invest in real estate rental properties. As I invest in rental properties, I make sure that I'm proactive. I'm very proactive into buying houses the right way, making sure I have plenty of options so I'm not reactive and losing money. See, we buy properties and make $250 a month in passive income. And as we buy each property, we realize that we have options and we can make better decisions. Hey guys, my name is Dustin Heiner with Master Passive Income, and I want to show you how to quit that JOB, that just over broke job, by investing in real estate rental properties so you never ever have to work a job again. Now, when you are investing, you want to be proactive. Now, being proactive is where you are having so many options. Like, oh man, my property manager just left me, or they said they will not manage my properties anymore. Good, I have a backup because I'm proactive. I'm going to give you so many different ways to be proactive, but what I want to talk to you about is actually how to do it just in general in life. Now, the first thing that you need to do when you are being proactive is you need to take responsibility for your actions. Because when you are reactive, you might be thinking, oh man, I'm a victim, or oh man, like woe is me, and get down on yourself or other people, or get mad at other people. What you need to do is now start taking responsibility for yourself, for your own decisions and everything that you're going to be doing. And the reason why is the only person you can control is you. The only person I can control is me. I can't control my wife. I can't control my kids. I mean, they're breaking everything. So I try to do my best to discipline them. But same thing with you. You can only control yourself. So taking responsibility for yourself is the first step. That if you're going to be proactive, you need to know that it's up to you to shape your future, up to you to make the right decisions, up to you to buy the right investments. It's all up to you. The second thing you need to do is you need to hold yourself accountable to your own decisions. So your decision for whatever it might be, to buy that investment property, to go to the movies instead of saving that money, whatever it might be, hold yourself accountable. It's nobody else's decision unless they literally forced you and twisted your arm, like literally grabbed you and made you do something. If you're making your own conscious effort and decision in something, you need to take responsibility for that. See, now what I did, because I invest in real estate rental properties that make me $250 or more in passive income every single month, I knew that if I spent money outside of buying that next property, it would be that much less money in my pocket to buy that next property. Give you an example. I stopped going on vacation for like 5 years with my family because I knew if I went to Disneyland and spent $2,000, that's $2,000 not spent on a property that's going to get me to be able to quit my job and stop living and working that just over broke job. So what I did was I took responsibility. I said, I am going to forego this good thing, potentially good thing, for something better in the future. So we need to take responsibility for our actions. The third thing you need to do is to set goals. Set your goals for your future. Let's say you want to quit your job in 5 years. Well, if you're going to quit your job in 5 years, you got to work your way backwards to figure out what that's going to be. If you need $3,000 a month in passive income, where you don't work and you still make money, if you need $3,000 in passive income, then you work your way backwards. We know that if we buy a house, we're shooting for $250 in passive income every single month. Well, if we had 10 properties, that's $2,500 in passive income every single month. If we had 12 properties, we have our $3,000, 3,000. So we know in 3 years or 5 years, we want to get $3,000 in passive income. We need to get to 12 properties in that many years. So we're setting our goals. We're seeing where we're going to want to be and then work our way backwards. That's the way to be proactive because we're seeing and we're going to actually achieve it because we're moving forward towards it. The fourth thing that you must do is create your own opportunities. and not wait and be reactive to things. You want to create your own opportunities. I'll give you an example. What you want to do is you need to be looking for properties. If you're an investor, you need to be looking for properties. Or if you're going to take an opportunity to get a really inexpensive car to buy for yourself, you're going to be looking for opportunities. You're going to be looking for deals. You're going to be going around figuring out where the deals are. You're going to be going after those opportunities. Let me give you another example. If you get my free real estate investing course, if you go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course, it's actually in the description as well. I will show you how to find properties, how to get money for the properties, how to build the business, to do it right, how to be successful, and how to have an automatic business and make $250 a month in passive income from every single properties. If you are proactive and you are creating and going after those opportunities, this is a free opportunity for you. Go after that, take advantage of that so that you can then start implementing it into your life and buying that next property. The fifth thing that you need to do is take control of your life. Taking control means where you are being proactive as opposed to reactive. You're not waiting for something to happen. You're going after it. You're saying, I am in control. No longer is my job in control, my boss, or somebody else, whoever it might be. You take control over yourself. And the reason why is because you're going to be able to figure out the good and bad things for you. Like, well, I don't really care about driving a fancy car, but you may love driving a fancy car. Totally fine. No judgment whatsoever. I don't think it's a big thing, but some other people do. If you do, go after it. Take charge. I really wanted to quit my job. And at 37 years old, because I took control over my life, foregone any vacation to save money to buy properties. At 37 years old, I literally quit my job because I had enough properties. I had like 25 properties by then, and I had so much money coming in passive income, I was able to quit my job. So take control over your life. The sixth thing you need to do is also put in your own principles, your own guiding values of who you are. Just like I was saying with going after a fancy car or whatever it might be, go after what you value, what your principles are, because your principles, your guiding principles will teach you and show you the direction you want to go. I believe in God, so I read the Bible, and that helps me know where I go. And that's something that you can do as well, but you also internally have your own principles, your own guiding values. So go after those so that those will help you to understand which decisions to make, because being proactive will give you loads of decisions. You go after whichever one is the best for you and to fit your principles. When you think of playing chess is basically thinking 1, 2, 3, or more moves ahead. Most chess players maybe think 2 moves ahead, maybe 3 at most. The amazing chess players actually think like 6 to 10 moves ahead. That's what we want to do as investors or as just being proactive in general. We want to be thinking of all the different options. If this will happen, then I'm going to do this. But if this happens, then I'm going to do this. And then if this happens, I'm going to do that. We want to be thinking ahead. We want to make sure that we have so many options and we've considered what somebody else will do so that we can then make a decision in the right decision. Think about everything in your life and being proactive, like playing chess. Think 2, 3, or 4, maybe even 5 or 6 moves ahead and be ready to adjust and pivot and change as things come your way. Let me show you what it's like to be an investor who is proactive as opposed to being reactive. A reactive investor would be listening to some, real estate guru that just says, okay, find a property, analyze the numbers, make sure you're making money every single month, buy it, and then rent it out. That's actually the wrong way to do it. In fact, the proactive investor, what they do is they look and they don't even find a property first. They find an area of the country to invest in. It could be whatever city. It could be like Indianapolis, Indiana. It could be Memphis, Tennessee, or wherever it might be. I actually have a video that'll actually walk you through the 20 different places right now that you want to invest in right now that you can actually invest and make a lot of money in passive income. Now, what an investor will do, a proactive investor will do, they will build the business first. They'll make sure before they even buy any properties. In fact, when they find an area, all those properties that they see that they might want to buy, they're actually probably not going to buy those because they're not going to be there by the time their business is built. But what the great thing is, more properties come on the market. And when more properties come on the market, you have the ability to buy those properties because you already have the business built. So proactive is building the business. Reactive is just buying the house and just saying, let's just start making money and try to do that. In fact, what's sad is, and it's good for me, but sad for other people, I buy properties off of people that do that. And I make loads of money because they're just fed up. They're like, take this property. I don't want it anymore. I'm like, great, I'll take it from you. Another way that an investor can be proactive as opposed to being reactive is, as reactive investors would do, they'll find a property and then try to get financing afterwards. They might even have a mortgage company ready, maybe, to actually get them the money, but they haven't really thought 2 to 3 to maybe 8 moves ahead. A actual investor that's proactive, not just finds a property and then makes sure they have a mortgage or anything like that to find it. No, first they build the business. They find mortgage companies. They find private investors. They find hard money. They get signature loans. They get home equity loans. They get so many different options to buy a property, and then they can just pick and choose what they need once they find the property. So they get the financing first, then they find the property, because the property, that's just, 1 in 1,000. What if you found 2 or 3 or 4? You need to make sure that you have enough money and the ability to get that money to buy those properties. Another way that you can be proactive as opposed to reactive, a reactive investor would look to get hard money. Hard money is where you borrow from a private investor that has somewhat of a business, but you get hard money. You pay a lot of money into it, but it's a short-term loan, like a 2 years at most, maybe usually 1 year loan, and you got to pay it back. A reactive investor would say, I found a property. Oh, let me go find a hard money lender. Then they find a hard money lender. Then they buy the property. And then 6 months down the line, like, oh no, shoot, this hard money needs to be called due, or it's going to be called due, and I'm going to owe a lot of money. I got to figure out how to pay this off. No, proactive investors don't do that. Number one, we find out our hard money lenders before we find the property. Then we find at least 1 or 2 or 3. My suggestion, I'll give you one-on-one coaching here. If you're going to get hard money, you need to have at least 1 minimum, but 2 to 3 different backups that you're going to use to get yourself out of the hard money loan. So if you're going to get a hard money loan, you need to be able to get out of it. Make sure you have a mortgage company, a banker, a local institution that has money. You want to make sure those are set before you actually even get the hard money loan. You absolutely want to make sure that's being proactive. So you guys are awesome. Make sure you get my free course. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Watch this video right here. I'll see you guys in the next one.